Good to see you this morning again. All right, today we're going to start a new activity. We're going to be doing some designing. We're going to learn how to do some designing. So in order to do that, I'm going to do some explaining. Before we start, you probably got to get a piece of paper and a pencil. Some kind of a straight edge, doesn't have to be perfect, just so you can draw some straight lines. So if you're ready, then we'll go. Now you can see I'm going to move myself over here. Hopefully that will just be a little bit better and easy for you to see. All right, rather than having a PowerPoint presentation for you to read and do on your own, I'm going to be doing this myself. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm not in Google. I had to use Microsoft Word PowerPoint, and that's a little bit more difficult to put onto Canvas. So I decided to go this way. So now you get to see me live. I know you're really excited about that. All right, first of all, we're going to be talking about drafting and learning some perspectives. Now, drafting perspectives 101, anytime you see something with a 101 on it, that means it's probably the beginning course. So we're talking about isometrics, orthographics, and perspective basics. Now, those are kind of interesting words. Isometric and orthographic and perspective are three different types of drawings that will help you as an individual or as a builder to see what it is that the person wants to have built. Okay, so there's a couple of things you need to understand. A perspective is a drawing of a house, room, or an object with a particular angle. If you notice down here at the bottom, I've given you two perspectives. These are drawn in two-point perspective. Now, this is what they do in the drawings when they're in the process of designing a house. Some interior decorators do this to show their clients perhaps what the room was going to look like in a drawing in a real way. And so sometimes they do this perspectives to help them understand what it's supposed to look like. Okay, it is drawn from the eye of the person where they stand, and it's also used in photography from where they take the picture. Each of these two drawings below are two-point perspectives of a room, a bit different angles. All right, number three, the perspectives had no specific angles. And this is important for you to understand about these three particular abilities to draw. There are no angles on this one. It's from where you stand. They are drawn from where the artist stands or from his or her mind's eye. In other words, he'd be able to envision this, and by him envisioning this, they're going to be able to see what it looks like. Number four, many times when you're discussing with your parents, and I've used this example many times, when you're trying to discuss things with your parents or your friends, you are stating your point of view from your perspective. That means you're looking at it from what you think it is. That same word, perspective, is used in the drawings. When we do drawings, you're doing it as a perspective. Now, these two drawings you see, one is colored, as you can see. The other one is just kind of a line drawing. But it gives the artist or the interior decorator or the architect an idea of what they can present to the client so that they know exactly possibly what the room is going to look like, and then they can change the colors rather than having to paint some things. Okay, so we're going to be drawing a two-point perspective. So first of all, you will need a blank piece of paper, as I've already told you, 8.5 by 11. It doesn't matter if it's lined or clear. Go ahead and see if you can round one up. You'll need a pen or a pencil. Probably a pencil's better because if you need to erase something, it's pretty tough to erase ink. And maybe a straight edge. It's not required to have a straight edge, but it's nice to have nice straight lines. It's easier to see and do the drawings that way. All right, you're going to turn your paper so that it is up and down like this. Okay, the lengthwise. And then you're going to draw a line in the middle across the middle of the paper. So I'll give you a second to do that. Or you can pause so you can do that. All right, hopefully by now you've got that line drawn across your paper. All right, here we go. We're going to start drawing some lines. Now, if you get confused any of these times, go ahead and stop the video. I mean, it's not that hard. Just stop the video so you can see these on your own. All right, so you've got the line drawn across here. That's wonderful. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you are going to come down about 3 or 4 inches, and I can't do this on the computer, so you're going to have to do it on your paper. Come down anywhere across this line, anywhere across here. Come down about 1.5 inches or 2 inches down from this page. It doesn't have to be in the center, just someplace right down here at the bottom. Have you got that spot? Put a dot. Okay, then you are going to draw a line from where you put the dot to the left hand. We call this a vanishing point. And then you're going to draw one from there to there, and then you're going to draw a line from that same dot over to the right vanishing point over here. So you kind of looks like a V. Now you have kind of a triangle. Then your last line right here is going to be directly straight up vertical from that point that you put. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a minute until. All right. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to put lines from the ends of this. So number one, from the top of this line, your vertical line from the top of there, you're going to go to the left, and then you're going to go to the right. So I'll put those in now. Kind of looks kind of crazy. You've got the front end. If you can kind of vision this, you've got the front end of a box. We're going to make a box. Once you get those 2 lines drawn, you are then going to measure from this center vertical line. You're going to measure this way about 2 inches, and you're going to put another vertical line. And then you're going to go this side to the right about 2.5 inches, and then put another vertical line. Now I have the 2 sides of my box. And then you can probably guess what we're going to do. We're going to take from this point on the left, we're going to take it to the right. And then we're going to take this one, this vertical line on the right, and we're going to go to the left all the way over. Okay, so let's see what that works. All right, so now you have those 2 lines drawn. Guess what? You've just made yourself a box. I know it doesn't seem like much, but you've made yourself a box in 2-point perspective. And you can kind of tell where you're looking at. You're looking kind of on the top at an angle. It's kind of a weird angle, but this is the perspective of where you're looking at this box. I'm going to pause it for a minute so that you can finish up your drawing. Okay, so now that you've done that, we're going to draw another one. We're going to go a little bit faster than what we did. So if you'll try this one now. All right, you still got your vertical line, you still got your horizontal line across your paper like this. This time we're going to draw above the line, not below it like we did before. We're going to draw it above it. So here we go. You guys know the first step. You're going to pick a point someplace across the top, about 2-3 inches. Okay. You're then going to draw a vanishing point to the right, and then you're going to vanishing point to the left, and then you're going to draw a vertical line instead of straight up. You're going to go down this time. You can kind of already tell that we're going to draw it from a different angle. Now you can take this point and you can move this point anywhere, and it all works the same. So it doesn't matter where you're doing this from, it all works the same. All right, the next thing we're going to do then is we're going to, if you remember, we're going to take those two lines from the bottom, go to the right and to the left vanishing points as I've done on my drawing. Then we're going to decide how big we want our box. So remember, we're going to put a vertical line here and a vertical line here. And you can make it as small or as big as you want to. And then, of course, the last step is to take from the top of your right vertical line and take it to the left, and take it from your left top of your bottom of your left vertical line and take it over to the right. So now you'll see how that gets put in there. And now you can see that the bottom, we can see the actual bottom of the box, and we're not on top of it, we're actually almost underneath it to see the bottom of the box. Okay, again, this is called two-point perspective. Now you should have two drawings on that paper. You should have one on the top and one on the bottom. So in order to show me that you did this, you're going to take a picture of this on your phone or some other way. You're then going to open up the worksheet, and you're going to put that photograph onto number 1 of the worksheet. Okay, so I'm going to pause this now while you finish it up, and then we will continue. Okay, well, I hope that you've got that taken care of, and it's in. You don't have to submit the sheet yet because you're going to do some more work on that sheet. So let's continue. Now, if you're out of time, you can come back to this. Remember that we don't want you to work on this more than about 20 or 30 minutes. I think that might probably take you about half an hour to do. If you want to do it a little bit later, you can. All right, so let's now go to the next section that we need to. All right, now we're going to show you the difference between an isometric drawing and a perspective drawing. The isometric drawing, as you can see, is a little bit more detailed. It has some measurements to it. It has more detail. It's very formal. Okay, so this one, the perspective is informal. It's kind of a sketch. An isometric drawing is very formal. It has angles. It has, you can see shapes and sizes, and it gives you some definite things. Okay, if you'll also notice in this last sentence, it says it's also drawn at a 30-degree angle. From here to here, this is a 30-degree angle. So everything that you're doing here is at a 30-degree angle, and that's usually done on a computer so that you can draw it, or if you have what's called a compass or a protractor or something like that, you can actually get the angle necessary to do that. Or a 30, 60, 90 triangle is usually what draftspersons use. All right, a perspective drawing is more of a sketch, and is to give an idea of what the objects of the room will look like. Usually an architect or an artist will draw the perspective, while a draftsperson draws the isometric drawing. Okay, believe it or not, people go to school for both of these, so they can sit down and they can do some drawing and designing. Okay. As a normal human being, that's you and I, at least we think we're normal, when you look at an object, for instance, this one right here on the right, we can see 3 dimensions. We see it has a height, it has a depth, and it has a length. That's 3-dimension. Okay, so like when you look at your hand, if you put your hand in front of your face like this, you can see the curves in it. You can see that it's a 3-dimensional figure. All right, but you notice that in the isometric drawing, okay, we see its shape. However, most of the time, the isometric is not what the builder wants to see. The builder wants to see a detailed view of what this is going to look like. This is really a good idea to have a picture of. There's nothing wrong with an isometric. But when you give this particular drawing to an architect or to to a builder, they want to know the exact dimensions of all the things that are on there. This just gives them a really good idea what to look at. All right. We need to send some plans to the builder, so we need to make an orthographic drawing. This is a flat pattern that explains even more in detail, not what it looks like, but how it's built, even in more detail. Now look at the other three drawings. These three right here are not in 3D. This is a 3D. These are not 3D. This is a flat 2D pattern. And it gives you a lot more detail when you do it, when you divide it up like this. Okay, this is known as orthographic projection. Okay, it has a top view, it has a front view, and it has a right side view. Now, this is your top view, looking as if you're looking down on top of it, as an airplane or a bird would fly over the top of it. Okay, this is the front view. As you're looking at it right here, this is called the front view. So this is as you're looking at it only on this flat surface. Okay, and of course, then you turn it to the right, and this would be your right side view. Okay, so we're going to do some practicing for a little bit. If you look at the picture below, notice the isometric drawing in the upper right-hand corner of your job. Okay, on right. Sorry about that. Upper in the right. Now this is all this is a square block of wood, or a square block that we've drawn. I do this to help you identify the different parts. Okay, your job is to fill in the missing lines on the orthographic drawing. The first thing you need to do is identify the top view, the front view, and the right side view. So to do that, I'm going to color this in a little bit. All right, you can see that that is the top view. Okay, this would be the front view, and this one would be the right side view. So if you notice here on the orthographics that I have left some lines out, your job would be, and will be on some other drawings, to fill in these lines that are missing. All right, let's see. Top view should be pretty easy. Top view should be easy. Okay, you can probably tell there's only 2 lines missing. Makes it to a square. Okay, let's go to the front view. Again, we have the 2 lines that are missing. And then our right side view, we have the 2 lines that are missing, and this is the easy one. And I'll be frank with you, this is really an easy one. I didn't want to start with anything really hard, but that's how you would make that. And you see, it really isn't that hard if you envision a top view, a front view, and a right side view. Now, the hard thing is that most kids have a hard time with is they try to look at the whole object. And then when they draw it, then they get confused on which side they're supposed to draw. All right, so now we've got a different one. Okay, can you see what they are? Can you see what the top view, the front view, and the right side views are? Hopefully by now you've identified those. You can even point to them on the screen. That would be nice. Okay, so here we go. Well, yeah, it's part of the top, but I also have this part of the top because it's a step. All right, so where's my front view? Okay, my front view is right here. It actually shows the actual shape of it. Okay, where's my right side view? Again, we have 2 different parts on the right side view. Okay. Okay, so I do know it's especially hard when we see in 3D, but try to block out the other sides and then you see the flat surfaces. All right, now, because of all this stuff, I think you're probably ready for some practice. All right, this is the end of the slideshow, but you'll find a worksheet on Canvas titled Draw the Missing Lines. Hopefully you have your perspective on that one already. Click on the link to open the new page. Um, you'll have 7 drawings to identify the missing lines. Take your time, think, and identify each side. Remember top, front, and right side views. And then don't forget to submit this when you're finished. By the way, when you are working on this, when you click on the drawing, you will see that there's a word edit in the underneath the drawing. To put the lines in, click on the edit button, and that will take you to the drawing page. And then you can go ahead and fill in the lines that are missing and then click save. And I've given you some instructions on each one of the pages that you can do. Good luck, have fun, and appreciate you watching this video.